Welcome to the Home Education with Ease podcast. I'm your host, Christine Furman, a homeschool mom, entrepreneur, and educator with over 20 years of experience in the areas of elementary and special education. It's my mission to help you create lifelong learners and embrace a holistic approach to education at home. I'll be sharing practical strategies, inspiration, and resources to support your family. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a business owner, or balancing work and homeschool, you're in the right place to connect with a community that values education just as much as you do. Join us each week as we ditch the stress, embrace the joy of learning, and set your family up for a lifetime of success. Hey, friend. Welcome back to the Home Education with Ease podcast. I'm your host, Christine Furman, your home education expert. And today I have a very special guest. I know I say that about all of my guests, but they really are very special. And this guest with me today goes back 20 some years with me. And it's not even a family member. Like, that's crazy to me that you have become like a family member to me because we have done so much.
Absolutely.
So today we really have. And I can't wait to share it with you guys, all of the trips that we have done, all of the dreaming that we have done, and the things that have come true, like a lot of what you guys see today. So without further ado, I would love to introduce Dr. Shellie Hipsky to you guys. Thank you, Dr. Shellie, for joining me today.
Of course. I am on a lifelong journey with you. As you've always said, hashtag mentor for life. So I've proudly carried that hashtag in my heart because we've been together so long. I can't wait to tell them. I mean, like, you were my undergraduate student and my master's degree student. You're my global sister. You're my everything. So I'm so glad that I get to do this with you.
Well, thank you. I mean, it is really special. The bond that we have, guys, this started whenever I was an undergrad in college at Robert Morris. So we were talking about it. I did do 2 years at a community college, so it wasn't quite when I graduated.
Okay.
But when I went to Robert Morris, because we were like trying to calculate the year. So I think it's about 20 years for us, though.
Yes.
When I met her, and I remember walking into the room that we were in, and I was like, that's who I want to be when I grow up.
Yay!
She had the pizzazz, the enthusiasm, rocking the heels, the cute outfits. And I was like, that is what I want. You know, I was a country girl, guys. I mean, I grew up on a farm and I always wanted the bigger things in life. You know, my dad is like, I don't know where you came from because we're here on the farm, you know, and it was a mini farm. We didn't have like a big farm, but still, I mean, I grew up in the country and I wanted all the fancy things, and I still do, and that's who I am. So
I love it.
When I met you, I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to go to the charity events. I want to have these big events. I want to speak. I want to, you know, all of these things. And when we met, I really think it was pretty instant, the connection that we had.
Absolutely. And I was just wowed by you because, I mean, you know, I had 10 years of being a tenured professor at Robert Morris. And before that, I was a professor over at Duquesne. And so I've had so many students and a teacher before that. So I've had so many students over the years. But when I learned about you and who you were at your core, and you started coming to some of my events, and you just became just a part of the whole world infrastructure of what was going on with the Global Sisterhood and what was going on with my company, Inspiring Lives. And then when I started helping coach you, it was like, it was magical to watch you just blossom from who I thought of as a, you know, young, ambitious student to the graceful, amazing, incredible educator / entrepreneur / mom who you are today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
Absolutely.
that so much. And it really was. It was such a blessing. So will you tell everyone, you told everyone a little bit, you're a teacher. What do you do now? Because you have worn many hats.
Yes.
And I've seen a lot of those hats, right? Been a part of a lot of those things, you know?
Yes.
So would you tell a little bit about what you do now and how you are helping women and children?
Absolutely. So my mission has always been to educate, entertain, inspire, empower women around the world. And you can kind of see behind us, this is some of the over 100 magazine covers that have featured my story and the Global Sisterhood. I have three main jobs. I have a bazillion other jobs.
I get
My
that.
favorite, of course, is being a mom. I love being a mom. But I run three different companies. One of which is the Inspiring Lives International, and that's a media company, and that's how I do my coaching, my VIP coaching. And we're putting out a short film in a year. We're doing docuseries, tons of media production through that film and production company. And then I have the Global Sisterhood, which I'm sure we're going to focus on a lot here because you are a global sister through and through. You've been there through many, many of our charitable acts and works around the world. And that is truly honing in on helping women and children internationally. And then my newest company is Nevin Investments, and I'm doing a ton of real estate investing. A lot of it is to uplift women, and it's also to capitalize on the leverage and legacy that I'm building here for my own children, but also for the people that I serve. So it's been a wonderful journey, especially since you knew me way back as a professor and a
Yes.
teacher, with all my stories of, my people that I used to help in the trailer parks of Apopka, Florida. And I want to talk about that too. But let's make sure that we get back to Apopka, Florida on this
Apopka,
talk,
Florida. I
because
wasn't with you for that,
it
but I was
it
with you for Philly. You have to tell me about Florida.
yes, you were.
We were
Absolutely.
together with Philly. Okay, so
Absolutely.
guys, there's so many things that we could talk about that, like, you might think like, oh my gosh, they're jumping from here to here. That is literally how it goes with us. We have so many things to
Yeah.
share and so many stories. So just bear with us because you'll get there. You'll hear all of them. But it is really crazy, the journey. Like, there are so many things that are popping in my head as you're speaking, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, one, I want to share with our listeners, as this recording airs, you and I and our significant others will be on our way to Cancun and spending
Yes.
New Year's in Cancun. So what a great way to ring in 2026 than on the
Yes.
beach with
Yay.
some favorite people. So I'm very excited about that. And that was a charitable, donation from your 50th birthday. That was a, event that we were able to win this gift as like a silent auction. And Dan and Chad were like bidding back and forth. And I had no idea. I was like, Dan, what are you doing? He's like, we're going to Mexico. Like, and I don't think that's exactly what he said, but in my head now, as I recall, it's like, we're going to Mexico, baby. Like,
And they were like bidding up and up and up and up, and
yeah.
we're like, okay. And then I was like, oh, I'm in charge of this, so why don't we do two? And then we were like, let's go together. So it was very exciting. And
Well, and here was the thing. I didn't know there were two. And then you
yes.
text me and you're like, we won. And I was like, what? We're going to Mexico together? Like, this is awesome.
And we've been so many places together, Christine.
Yes.
I mean, from like, talk to us about the VIP coaching experience in DC.
Oh,
That was so
that was
fun.
amazing. So we've been through a lot, of
Yes.
growing, and I've shared a lot of my visions and dreams, and I've done a lot of your courses and Master You. That's really, honestly, I think we need to back up before DC, actually.
Yes,
So,
yeah. Okay, so yeah, the Empower You Masterclass, that was, yeah,
that was what
back them
started
up,
it.
back them up.
That's really what started it all. And see, guys, I'm telling you, there's so many intertwined pieces and stories here, So I was teaching full time, and I had both of the kiddos, Alex and Ella, and I don't know I turned in an application because I was like, I have both my kids now. I really have always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. But as a teacher, you're like, what do you do? How are you going to do this? Have an income, stay home with your kids, still use your gifts, because I know that my gift is teaching, and connecting with moms. And so you did an Empower You Masterclass, and I signed up for like this scholarship because, we were a young family, and I was like, I can't ask him to be like, listen, I want to quit my job and do coaching,
Yes,
that's
yes.
a lot, So I signed up for this scholarship, and I remember exactly where we were. I just finished the school year. The kids and I flew out to California to meet Dan because he was out there. So here I was, 2 under 2, flying by myself to California. But I was like, we're doing this. We're making it happen. I get out there, and you call me, and you were like, hey, you won this Master U scholarship. And I was like, what?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Like I totally forgot even, and I was like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, like that changes everything,
It does. It does.
So when we get back, you and I meet up at Jimmy Wan's. I mean, I think that's an important part of our story,
Absolutely. I want to go back even further because I remember being in the pool in Vegas.
Yes.
Do you remember being in the pool in Vegas? And you were like, I like going and doing all this stuff with you, Shellie, but I want to be home with my kids. I remember you got like emotional. We're in the pool, sun shining down on us. And you're like, I want to be able to spend more time with my kids. And I was like, well, let's figure out a way. And then when your application came through for the Empower You Masterclass scholarship, I was like, oh my gosh, look at her manifesting this. And then let's go to Jimmy Wan's and have a pomegranate martini. Okay, take us there, Christine.
Wait, hold on. California was after the masterclass, though. It really was.
Yes, it was. It was.
So the masterclass is really what kicked everything off, actually, because I remember we sat there.
Okay, so it wasn't Vegas. That was California.
We didn't even do that yet. No.
Hold up. Oh my God.
You're getting ahead of yourself. I'm telling you.
I know. Like the timeline of who we are to each other is insane. It goes so far back, and it has so many levels. And like there were different times when I was your boss and you were my employee, or you were my student and I was the professor. But like you are like my total complete equal. Like you are so killing it in the entrepreneur space and the mompreneur space. So, okay, I'm sorry. Take us wherever you want to take us. You're driving. Here's the keys.
All right. Even though I'm interviewing you, I'm going to take over for a hot second here. But I do want to let our listeners know that we are going to be talking about, obviously I'm going to be sharing my story of visualizing and how Dr. Shellie helped me to visualize and manifest all of these things that have come true. So she is going to take the floor in a little bit after I get the story straight here. And she's going to be sharing a little bit more about that, about how you as a mom, as a business owner, could say, what can I do next? Are you in a job where you're like, I do want to be home with my kids, or I want to homeschool my kids, but I'm working full time, or what does that look like for you specifically? So stay tuned because we are going to talk about that, but I'm going to share my story of how Dr. Shellie helped pull it out of me because it really is impactful. So we were sitting there at Jimmy Wan's, pomegranate martinis. That's always going to be our thing. And she said to me, well, what are the things what do you want to do? And I said, well, there's 4 things that I could do right now, right? I could stay a teacher and keep working. I was doing like skincare at the time. And I said, well, I could do that. I said, I could do event planning. People have told me I was good at, running events. And I said, and I worked at this children's gym that I absolutely loved, but I stopped doing that, to get my teaching degree or to, get my job. And she's like, all right, there's something different though for you. And I was blown away because I was like, those were the 4 options that I saw, and for you to say, no, there's more. And you really helped me to say, you don't have to teach within the classroom. You can teach outside. And you always said that, like the world is my classroom. Yes. And it was like, how do I do that? How do I do that? And it was during that masterclass that we visualized and we wrote down all of these plans. What are the things that you want? Like dream big. Don't leave anything on the table. What does that look like for you?
Yes.
And that was, working with my kids and still teaching and still connecting with moms. And then you invited me to do the Global Sisterhood with you and then Inspiring Lives. And I will never forget that year that we went to California. It was September. And I was setting up Step and Repeat for a photo shoot at a yacht club. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could be in a classroom setting up my classroom right now, but look what I'm doing right now.
Yes.
And I'm connecting with people. And yes, my kids were at home with my husband at the time, but I had already quit my job at that point. And I was staying home with my kids. And the amount of time that I was getting with them was incredible. And then it was like, what does this look like now? And then let's go to Vegas. And let's go to Vegas then. So we did a couple trips together.
We did so many trips together.
I know. We really have. We've been across the U.S., up, down, all around.
All around.
Now we're going international.
Right now, while they watch this, we're in Cancun, baby. Mexico.
Oh, this one will be more of a vacation, though. We did our planning this trip already, so
absolutely,
we're going to be just enjoying some time, much needed time.
Absolutely.
All right, so now tell the Vegas story or the California story, wherever we were in the pool, because I don't even know.
There's been a lot of pools. There's been a lot of step and repeats.
Yes.
So I think they got the basic gist of you just saying that you wanted to be with your kiddos. You still wanted to teach in some way. And then we started manifesting it. And I remember being at Jimmy Wan's and taking a napkin and just dividing it in 4. And we put those 4 things that you thought were the 4 things that you could do. And I did. I said, there's more. And then I had you close your eyes. Why don't we do that let's get out of this frenetic activity and just, if the people that are watching this, if you're watching this and you're a mom and you have something clattering and clunking around in your brain, take whatever piece of paper, napkin, I don't care, receipt, back of a receipt from Target, whatever you got,
Amazon
take
box,
it and
yes,
exactly. And just make a little line down here and a little line across and just write what you think could be your possibilities for this 2026 and beyond. So if you think that you could, if you are working 8 to 5 and it's driving you nuts, put be a stay-at-home mom. Or you could put you'd like to open a business, or you'd like to become an influencer in a certain area, or whatever you think could be those 4 things. And then take some time tonight when it's quiet, or in the morning, because when you're a mama, it's not always quiet, and you got to pick your quiet, and sometimes you got to get up a little earlier or stay up a little later and find that. But carve out that moment in your day soon, hopefully before it's 2026. If it's not, that's okay. But before it's 2026, if you can, and just shut your eyes, look at that picture of what you could have. Shut your eyes and say, is there more? Is there more? And what does that more look like? Yeah.
It's so true.
I got chills too. I did too. Woo.
Yeah.
But I want you to think, is there more? And what does that more look like? And what does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it like? You are creating your destiny.
Yes. Imagine yourself in that position.
Yes, absolutely. And then what you're going to do from there is you're going to take it and you're going to do I am statements. You're going to write. I have a board that is filled like top to bottom with probably 50 some different things that say I am healthy. I am at my perfect weight. I am running Inspiring Lives International. I am creating a short film. I am I am being awarded this. I am always there for my children.
Things. I have to tell you. So I have this not on my computer here, but in Georgia. I have a little sticky note, and I wrote, I am a good educator. I am a good business owner, right? All of these things. And Ella took that note and wrote, a great mom.
Yes.
And it's like, yes, those are the things. Sometimes we may overlook some of those things that we are doing. And it's like, what are all the things that we are good at, that we are doing, and that we want to do, and we want to aspire to be? Because I remember those I am statements whenever I quit I left my career, my teaching career.
Yes.
I had a journal, and I was writing those I am statements down, because people always ask me, they're like, I could never have enough patience to homeschool my kids. I want to encourage you to write down, I am a patient and loving mother. Because that patience, sometimes we need to build that in, because there are so many things that come at us all the time. And I truly believe that was one thing that really helped me during that toddler time while starting a business, while working with you, while my husband was traveling, and this new life in a sense, because it was like, I knew I was going to college and I was going to go get a teaching career and I was going to have kids. But then I left that career and now it was like, now what do I do? And
Now, who am I?
Yes.
That is the thing.
Yes.
It's when you go through a transition, when you go through a shift, you say, well, who am I if I'm not this label? And I think that that's why the I am statements are so important, because they define for yourself, not for anyone else.
Yep.
It's not for anybody else's consumption until they see you doing it and they're like,
Mhm.
woohoo, how'd you get there? But
Right.
you need to redefine who you are for you so
Yep.
that you can manifest that in the world.
I love that. That is something I probably did not connect.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
probably did not. I mean, I literally have chills as you said that, because I was like, oh my gosh, that's so good. And that's so true that, I went through this transformation because I was doing that work, but I never made that connection as to why that was happening,
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And it's all, you get to do whatever you want to do. Embrace
Yeah.
your you-ness, embrace who you are, and go for that more if you want that, and figure out what that is. And
Mm-hmm.
it'll change and morph over time. I mean, would you have ever thought back when I was your professor that I was going to be doing all these real estate investment
No.
land deals and things like that? Like, it's like
Right.
crazy, right? Like, but
Yeah.
I am open to the possibility. And as long as it's aligned with my personal mission,
Yes.
then I make it happen. If a person, a thing, a business opportunity is not aligned with my heart,
Mm-hmm.
my soul, my mission, I bless it and let it go.
Yep. And
And
sometimes you will know, and sometimes you will not know.
yes,
And
absolutely.
sometimes you have to walk through those challenges of like, maybe this isn't aligned, but I
Right.
feel like the more and more you are aligned with what you are supposed to be doing, with what you're called to be doing,
Yes.
you'll be able to block those things out so much easier. Because I
Yes.
feel like that now. It's like, you know what? Yeah, these opportunities are great, but which one is aligned the most?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it becomes clear. It does become clear, thank God, because but I mean, just today I had to make a decision, like an hour ago, Christine, like a big decision
Wow.
on something that I just had to look at my heart, my soul, and was it a good opportunity? It could have been a good opportunity for me even a few months or a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But for today, for who I am and always becoming the
Yes.
best version of myself and the most aligned version with my mission, it wasn't aligned anymore. And I had
Yeah.
to bless it and say goodbye and move forward towards a bigger destiny.
Yes.
Um, and we've talked too about the people that you align with in your life. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that has been very clear to both of us, that, and my mom, we call her Moo, and she and I were talking, and she said to me that if you don't be very protective of yourself and your boundaries and who you're letting into your world, never burn bridges. I say we live in Pittsburgh, so there's 400 bridges literally, so you don't want to burn those. You don't want to
Right.
burn the
No.
bridges.
No.
But she gave me the analogy of, if you are allowing someone into your personal space, your world, your business, your family structure, those type of things, that is toxic for you, it's like going out and planting this beautiful, gorgeous garden filled with the most delicious smelling roses and beautiful hyacinths and orchids, and then right in the middle of it you just said, I don't want to go in there and pull out the poison ivy.
Mm-hmm.
It's what's it going to hurt? But that will fester and grow and take over your beautiful garden, and
Yes.
it'll make you itchy and it'll make you uncomfortable, and things will go wrong. So you
Yes.
need to make sure that you are not letting the toxic things stay in your beautiful garden of your life.
Mm-hmm. I love that so, so much. It's such a beautiful analogy, and it's so true.
It is. It
You
is.
know, you have to, and I've talked about that a lot on the show too. It's like it can be someone that you don't even expect,
Yes.
and some situations, and the other thing that I wanted to add is, for me, these situations have changed and transformed as seasons have changed, right? Like
Yes.
when I was raising my kids, they were 3 and 5 when I started this, and
Yes.
now they're going to be 9 and 11, and it's different. The business looks different now,
Yes.
because before I was full on mom mode and they needed me all the time. And this is just a little piece of encouragement for moms that are in that messy middle, because it's busy. They need us. You can't go to the bathroom by yourself, and they're coming and crawling in your bed. And I had people ask me, like, how do you get them out of your bed? And how do you get them to do this? And how do you get them to do that? And I was like, it will eventually stop, and you may not know when that time is, and then you'll look back. Like now, my Christmas card, everyone's like, I can't believe how tall your
I
kids are.
know. It's amazing. I got that card. I was like, where's the babies?
Right. And like we went to a Christmas party that we didn't go to last year, but we went to the year before, and they were like, who is this? Like
Yes.
she was like itty bitty 2 years
Yes.
ago, and now here
Yes.
she is sharing my clothes, wearing my shoes, and I
Love
it. I do love
Yep.
this stage, but it's like I do miss that baby stage,
Yeah.
but it's like we're in a different season. They can take care of themselves. Like they're so self-sufficient, I'm like, you're fine, and now I can lean into and pour into my business in a different way. I set that foundation up, and I dreamed big. And, people always would say, I've had actually a lot of people make life changes because of things that I've done. They said, I've watched you
Beautiful.
quit your teaching job, your teaching career. How do you feel about that? And I'm like, it's the best thing I've ever did. I
Love
watched
it.
you move from Pittsburgh to Georgia. How do you feel about that? I was like, the best thing I ever did. And these big life moments, like, why? Because we poured into it. I always
Yes.
said I wanted to live in the South, and I always said I wanted to live in Georgia. I never visited Georgia before. And there we were. We landed in Georgia, and I love it.
It's awesome. So good for you. You're just glowing.
I
So
know.
proud of you.
Thank you. And then like one birthday, I sent you a video, and here I was singing happy birthday to you with my kids poolside, working with my assistant. And you were like, oh, I'm so proud. Like, look at you. You did it. And I was like, yeah, like there are times when you don't think about it, right? Until you get someone else's perspective, and it's like, look what you've done. And I'm like,
Yes.
oh, I guess I did do all those things.
Yes.
Because in my mind, it was just kind of the next step,
Right.
But if you are taking it from someone else's perspective, they're like, look how all these things that you've done. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that's, just what I do every day. I stay busy,
I love it. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's just fantastic. So what's your more? I can't help it but turn the tables.
I know. You are not the interviewer. The interviewee. You have been doing this for a long time, though. So
I have. So what's your more next?
all right. For this year, we will do a lot more live classes. I've actually had a lot of collaborations. People have asked to do cooking classes and, writing classes and different things like that. And that really is the core of what I love to do. I love to teach, So
Excellent.
that is something that we'll be doing. And then I've got lots of big things. Academy's coming up, and yay! So lots of big projects in the pipeline for sure. And sometimes it becomes a little overwhelming when you're like, I want to do it right now.
Yes.
So that's probably my challenge, and my, the thing I have to work on, your like struggles and weaknesses, or your strengths and weakness. Yeah, my weakness is like time. Like I could fit all of this into,
You wait. I taught your special ed course, and what do we say? We don't say strengths and weaknesses. We say strengths and needs, and you can fill those needs.
That's
It's not a
true. That's true.
weakness. It's a
not a
need. We
weakness.
will fill the need. We will figure out how to fulfill the need.
See,
And
I love that.
there will
Perfect
not be the
reminder for
gap.
everyone. Love it.
We will fill in the gap, and then you'll be walking straight across it.
Love it. I just roll with it. I'm like, well, we're gonna make it happen.
We got this.
That's right. But I love that. You're right. And a lot of that is rephrasing, instead of, and it's very easy for me to say to someone like, oh, don't say it that way. And then sometimes someone like you or my husband or even my daughter will catch me and I'm like, ooh, I didn't realize that I was saying something that wasn't in
Yeah,
a positive way, you know? And
absolutely.
I think that's something too that we need to rephrase what we're saying. If we
Yes,
constantly say, I can't do this, I don't have enough time, you know, how can we switch that around and make
yeah,
that a positive? Let's hear your
absolutely.
let's hear your suggestions there.
My suggestion for switching it around,
Yeah, like for a
I mean,
positive.
it's a perspective switch. And I think that sometimes we do need to just look at it through a different lens. I mean, the old glasses, the pink looking through rose colored glasses. I think it's important to be able to do that. I also do think that it is important to look at it realistically at times though too.
Mm,
So I think that you definitely need, I mean, I'm always turning things around into a positive, absolutely. But you also have to make sure that you have those boundaries and you have those just be protective of yourself and your
mm,
soul and your energy,
yes.
because we only have so much.
Yeah.
We only have so much. And you know me, everybody jokes that I never sleep. I answer emails in the middle of the night. I'm constantly running. And that's how I've been able to have such an international business, is because everybody's in all different time zones and they always know that they can talk to me in whatever
Right.
time
Right.
and whatever part of the world. But yeah, I am personally starting to really be protective of that. You can still be positive. You can
Yes.
still, switch the perspective and reframe it in your mind and in other people's minds. But just be, I think, I've always been sort of a risk taker and been able to just say, no, I'm going to do this. And, but I think that as I come to my age and into my,
That was a very graceful way of saying that. I love it.
I think that I've definitely learned a lot. I mean, with relationships and yeah, but I mean, obviously, I still take on a lot, and you do too. And I think
Yeah,
that the women watching this are still taking on a lot. Just
probably.
make sure that it's things that are filling up your soul,
Yes.
um,
That are
and
aligned. And what are some of the things that you can say
aligned.
no to? You
Yes,
know, even
absolutely.
though, and I talked about this a lot in December, was like, even though, it's the holidays and traditions, and what are some of the things that you can let go of that has been a tradition that maybe not is joyful for you?
Yeah,
Just because it's something that everyone has done, but it doesn't fill your cup, maybe you don't have to do
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
there are things like
Make
that anywhere, in
Yeah,
your
make
life.
different traditions. Maybe the tradition this year is that mommy gets a little quiet time to herself.
Right. How about that? Maybe she goes to Cancun for
Maybe she goes to Cancun. Maybe she goes and has a little drinky drink
That's
at the
right.
pool with her friend.
Hey, anything, right? Oh, or
Whatever
make
is
that
really,
time. Make
yeah,
that time too, because this is also about moms filling their cups. And,
yes,
even if it is saying, hubby, I need you, or the kids are in bed and I'm going to go take a bath and
yeah,
just turn the lights out, light a candle, and just
yes,
relax,
exactly.
and just let all the worries, because we're always constantly thinking. I joke that, the men, they don't always think about all the things that we're thinking about. Let's just say this nicely, in a way, because our brains are constantly like, what are we having for dinner? What are we wearing? What, we
Mhm.
need to do the laundry. We need to do this for the business, right? All those things. And it may not be exactly the same, whatever's going on in their brain. I don't know. But, sometimes just let all those things just go,
Yeah,
you know, and just enjoy some quiet to yourself, because you deserve it for sure.
you definitely do. Or turn on some music and just zone
Yeah.
into the music. I mean, sometimes the musical zone can take you to different places. Turn on some meditation. A guided
Mhm.
meditation can be beautiful for your soul. I've led many guided meditations, and I think that those can be really good for just reclaiming your peace, because we all
Mhm.
need peace.
Yeah.
We need peace
Yes, we
and
do.
chill. And like you
For
said,
sure.
when you're in the middle of the chaos of especially with the holidays. But
Mm-hmm.
mamas out there, you need your peace, and you deserve your peace, and you need some chill. You need some like
So true.
woosah.
Yes. So true. So we talked about, them closing their eyes, asking for more. Do you have anything else that you want to share that would be helping them to really get ready for 2026, wherever that's at? Maybe there's no real big change, right? Maybe they are in that messy middle and they're like, you know what, I can't make big moves right now. But
Yeah.
how do we make 2026, like you said, like that's really my goal, is like, how can we be the best version of ourselves right now where we're at? And
Yes.
just being able to take and make these little tweaks
Mm-hmm.
to set yourself up for success, to set your kids up for success, to set your family, because that's also, it's you, it's your children, and then it's your home life, right? And your
Yes.
business. It could be all of those things, right? And we may need to put them in different buckets of like, what do we need to do here? What do I need to do here? And what do I need to do here? So do you have any other
Absolutely.
advice for the moms out there?
I think if you wanted to I mean, I've got so many books that I've written, 15 books. But the one that pops to mind, the two that pop to mind is the Mom Magic Mompreneur, and of course this one is more like, it's got a workbook, it's got different secrets to your success. And I think that this is actually the one that would be really good for them.
Ball gowns to
But
yoga pants.
ball gowns to yoga pants. And yeah, I'm just peeking through because and I would say that if there was one thing that you wanted to do, is to really surround yourself with the right people, just because
Yeah.
I'm on here with my darling Christine, and
Yes,
and
that's so true.
one of the success, Dr. Shelley's success secrets, number 9 in Ball Gowns to Yoga Pants, is armed with your dream team, you can make it happen. Whatever you need to make it happen. But find your people, find your tribe, we've got the Global Sisterhood. And if you find the right people to support you, that could be your BFF, I've got a business bestie, I've got a BFF, I've got, you know, mentors and mentees and people that I just rely on. I've got assistants and so many different people for my businesses. But I think that if you find even just that one person who you can really truly trust and lean in on, and tell them when days have been just total BS, and tell them that you need someone to when you need someone to vent to, just let it out. Because we don't want to walk around and have that on our hearts and have it be coming out in like little explosions with the kids or with the husband or with the whoever. But have that dream team, and most likely if you're with the right life partner, that partner is going to be part of your dream team.
Yes.
I mean, I look at my Chad, and I've been to Africa with him, helping at an orphanage, and I've been all over doing all these things, helping with the homeless in Florida, and doing it side by side with the person I love. He's a part of my dream team now.
Yes.
So find those people that you can trust and love on, and pour into them, and they will pour back into you. And I think that is going to be a really important part of prepping you for 2026, is just realizing who those people are.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky enough, you'll have a Christine.
Oh, well, they
like
have
I
me
do.
in their pocket right here.
Yay,
They can
I
pop
love
me
that.
in anytime, and they can reach out to me at any time, which is great. And they can, connect with you as well.
Yes.
For inspiration as well. So we'll get to that in a minute. We're not quite there yet, where we're going to connect. But, it is very true, and whenever you have that person, that they're your go-to person,
Yeah.
And then sometimes if you're like, you know what, this person drains me, pay attention to that. Pay attention, because as I'm in town, right, I'm meeting up with a ton of different people, and I'm going to breakfast, and I'm going to lunch, and I'm going to coffee, and I'm going to drinks, and all these things. And I'm like, every time I leave, I feel refreshed. Yes. I feel like they fill my cup, and that's who you want to be surrounded with. If you leave a conversation, if you leave an event and you feel drained, you need to reflect on that and say, what was it about this situation, this person that was draining? And
Yeah.
is that something that you can have a conversation about, or is that something you need to change?
Yeah, absolutely. And I found throughout life that sometimes some people just you're toxic for each other. You're
Mm-hmm.
probably not good for them any more
Right.
than they're good for you. And it just you just do a nice
Yep.
goodbye and bless
Bless
them
and
and say
release, like
goodbye.
you
Yeah,
said.
bless and
Yep.
release. Absolutely.
And you
And
know what? I
it's
want the
better for
moms to
everybody.
pay attention to that too for your children. Pay attention to
Yes.
your children, because I've seen that already in the
Hmm.
short 11 years, like which ones are the good relationships and which ones are the bad. And I'm sure my parents did the same thing all those
Oh
years
yeah.
ago, when I was so angry, and here it is, that friend that, was probably not the right one. We're best friends now. But you know what? We go through seasons, because there had been many times when we were not friends. We had
Yeah.
gone through and we've grown in different areas. So it may not be that, it's forever, but you
Yeah.
have to grow, and
Yes.
you have to come back at the right seasons in life, or, so just pay attention to that too for your children, for your family. Where do you want your kids hanging around, parties or events, things like that. I had to really look at that whenever the kids were little and say, where do I really want us to go as a family? Like, is
Yeah.
this event somewhere that I would allow my kids just to be running around, or is it really not the right environment?
Right. Absolutely.
You know?
And sometimes you can still go. Just don't.
Right.
Just be choosy,
Exactly.
ladies. You have every right to be choosy about what's happening in your life. We have one
Mhm.
life.
That's
We have
right.
one life. We don't know when it's going to end. We just need to pour into ourselves and the people that we love, and do what we want to do with this one life. I
That's
mean,
right.
go
Dream,
for it.
dream big and go for it.
Huge.
That is
Yes.
so true.
Yes.
You know, you can
Absolutely.
change the trajectory of your life. You
At
really
any
can.
time. At
Yes.
any time. I mean, I've got friends that are, I have a friend who's in her 80s who's just made a huge
Amazing.
shift in her life. Yes, absolutely. And younger, older, color of your skin does not matter,
No,
people.
no.
Like whatever it is that you want to do, if it's on your heart and soul, do it.
Yes.
Find the right people to support you, make a plan, manifest the crap out of it, go for
That's right. That's right.
it.
For sure. Well, Shellie, do you want to share a little bit about the Global Sisterhood, and then how can people connect with you?
Yes, absolutely. So the Global Sisterhood is a 501(c)(3), and we have been helping women and children around the world for the last decade. We have locations in Pakistan and Nepal and in Africa, all different parts of Africa. We were recently in Africa. Actually, we were in Tanzania at our school for entrepreneurship that I helped found. Um, and we were in Kenya at the orphanage Hakima place, and then we went down to South Africa. And the South African one is the one that's really popping into my mind with this whole manifesting and dreaming. Just because when we went to this school in South Africa, Christine, we were driving up in the van, and it was we were seeing all these like shanty towns, and it was very like impoverished, like we wouldn't see here in the
Mm-hmm.
States. And we're driving up and we're driving through, and this is the part where Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu and these people that are like iconic there. But they told us this is right where we were driving through was the highest crime rate in that part of the world. So
Wow.
imagine, like, my heart's like, we
Right.
didn't have security with us. We didn't have any of that. We're in the highest crime rate in this part of Africa. And we're walking into this scenario. We were told that the girls that are at this school are being told that they can leave because there's no water left. They have no water. They have no plumbing left. They're done. And all the other kids are going home. The girls that heard that these women were coming from America to help empower them they were going to come to the classroom, they stayed in this little classroom without,
Wow.
without water, without all the things, like without electricity, all the stuff that they didn't have that day. And when we walked in, it was myself and Ricky on my team and Nettie Joe. Nettie Joe.
Mm-hmm.
She's in her 80s and just total
Traveling.
badass.
Yes. Yes.
And then and Camille Robb. And so we were there and we walked into this thunderous standing ovation from
Oh.
these young women, and they were so hungry for inspiration. These
Mm-hmm.
women, Christine, these young women, I mean, they're 17, 18 years old, 16 to 18 years
Wow.
old. And these are many of the young women that were in this classroom were married to men because their families wanted the pension from these old men.
Wow.
So they were basically being sold
Mm.
for a pension to these men.
Wow.
These are young women that would be considered, like broken by our industry, our
Mm-hmm.
society standards, but they gave the standing ovation and we let them dream again. Like we were talking about, like, what could you be if you could be anything? And the one girl was like, I would be a teacher, and the other girl, and I said, oh well, I was a teacher, da, 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 da. And then we went on, and there was a girl that stood up and said, I would be a fashion designer. And I said, get up here and do your walk. And then she like strutted her stuff, and I was like wearing one of the outfits that I had made at the School for Entrepreneurship. I was like, look, this, your sisters made this. And they were like,
Aw.
woo. So yeah, it's time that we all look at, no matter what our circumstances is, what is that more? What could I dream? How could I make it bigger? How could I help other people? And through the Global Sisterhood, that has been a platform for
Mm-hmm.
us to be able to help women and girls around the world to dream again and dream bigger and help them. I mean, we're just in Apopka, Florida, which is where I used to teach, Christine, back in the day. And we did this whole experience with the homeless people there. They've been living in tents in camps in Florida
Wow.
there for 3 years. So
Wow.
they have not had homes for 3 years. And we came in as the Global Sisterhood and we did these total transformative makeovers, wherein they got to stay in a hotel and get a shower finally and shave their legs finally. Like the girls were
Wow.
like, thank God. And then Eva, she's on our board, and she helped teach them how to put makeup on, and
Aw.
they're showered and they got to put makeup on, and we had my whole glam squad went out there and we cut their hair, and the guys had the beard trimmed, and the ladies got their hair coiffed, and we had gowns donated from House of Couture Designs.
Oh,
And
I love this.
so we went to this big gala and celebrated one of our charity partnerships, JFC for You Inc. And they were able to be there as guests and to celebrate the JFCU Inc. and the Global Sisterhood. They've been feeding 300 women and children. I think it's like 3 times a week. They feed 300 people there that
Wow.
are living in these very impoverished conditions. So
Wow.
the
That's
the the
amazing.
thank you. The extent of what
Mm-hmm.
has happened in the Global Sisterhood in the last 10 years has just been astounding to
Yes.
me. I'm so,
Yes.
so proud of all the different missions and movements and charity partnerships. So thank
Yes.
you for giving me that moment to
Of
talk about
course.
that.
I know whenever I was on the Global Sisterhood board before I moved and all the craziness of, I don't want to say craziness, but life, of
Yeah.
babies and stuff, we were working with, where were we? Pakistan, right?
Yes.
With sister death,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
And that was just incredible to me because I was teaching, right? I was in the
Yes.
classroom and everything just kind of, you kind of do what you do here, right? You go to high school, you go to college, you get your job and you do life, right? And then it was like these schools or these children don't have tables, they don't have books, they don't have, walls even. And we were
Yes.
able to raise the money and we were able to connect with them and get them school supplies and get them, stuff that they can be educated. And that was such an impactful moment for me as an educator because, my mission is making sure that everyone has a good education, in whatever
Absolutely.
way meets their needs. And to be able to do that in another country was just beautiful. So I just love that we did that together, and that
Yay.
project, and just
Absolutely. Yeah.
love everything else that you are doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's been a real blessing, and I love when we get more and more global sisters around the world taking up arms and helping each other, connecting arms. Taking up arms sounds like no, connecting arms and going together and leading the way for each other. It's so important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being a guest. One final little tidbit of information I want to share with everyone. So my husband and I, we're going to be together on a trip this episode and for this week, but I want to share with you that one of our first main dates, maybe our third date or second date, I don't know what it was one of your charity events.
Oh,
the Taste
yes.
of Broadway.
Taste of Broadway.
And I just remember, I was like, listen, if this guy can hang with this charity event that I'm like, I want to be a part of this world. I want to be giving back. I want to get dressed up and I want to, have fundraisers and all these things. And it was just awesome. So that was, it's just all part of our journey here. Yeah. And I just love it so much.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. If he can hang at one of my big charity events, he's a keeper. I know Dan's a keeper. He's an amazing guy and a great husband to you and great father to your kiddos. And we're very, very blessed, Christine.
Yes, we
definitely.
We are. Well, thank you. Yes, he's amazing.
Absolutely.
So is Chad. I've seen all his things. He's amazing. Well, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
The show is yours.
Well, where can everyone find you? Any last piece of information or advice, and where can everyone find you?
Last piece of information and advice, it sounds so cliche, but be yourself. I have embraced the very you-ness of who I am. That's what I've been calling it, is you-ness. And you need to figure out who you are and what you want for your life. So just dig in there and find it and run with it. Yes. Absolutely.
So true. I love that so much. Great piece of advice. All right. Where can everyone find you? Lots of places, everyone.
Lots of places. Yeah. I would say ShellieHipsky.com. That's Shellie Hipsky with it. Shellie is with an IE. You can go on, oh my gosh, so many different websites and television shows and I got major television stuff coming up here soon. Yay! But yeah, on Amazon Prime, you can watch it on Ball Gowns to Yoga Pants on Amazon Prime through the Speak Up series. But really the main point of connection with me right now has been my Instagram, and that has been really just reaching out to a lot of different people. So if they go to Dr. Shellie, so Dr. Shellie on IG, you'll find me. DM me. We'll talk. We'll manifest together.
That's right. So all of those links will be in the show notes below. The yoga ball gown to yoga pants. That book link will be there. The Amazon link will be there. Her Instagram, Facebook, all the things, right? Anywhere you want them to find you. We will put those all in the show notes below. And if you are ready to really make 2026 your year as a homeschool family, definitely reach out. We are going to be doing the Home Education with Ease Collective. That's starting in January. We're also doing or head over to the Home Education with Ease Facebook group and share with us what are those big dreams. So Shellie's in that group and you can share with us and then we can help dream big and make it happen.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yay. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. So I hope you have a wonderful end of 2025 and a beautiful start to 2026. And I can't wait to walk alongside you every step of the way. Thanks, Shellie, so much for being here.
Awesome. See you on the beach.
All right, friends. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in to the Home Education with Ease podcast. I hope today's episode left you feeling empowered and ready to take the next steps on your home education journey. Your support means the world to me. Please subscribe, leave a review, and share with a friend. For even more resources, be sure to join the free Facebook group, Home Education with Ease, and visit eduplaylearning.com to explore programs and subscription kits. You can find the links and any other links mentioned in this episode in the show notes below. Remember, you're not alone. This community is here to support you every step of the way.